Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's go, baby. Easy, easy. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in for a loss of 11.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things that I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on. Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be fielded at the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 28 yards. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, right at the 30. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
That's complete right around the 8. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Foles. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now here's Mahomes. Looking sideline, and that's caught by Watkins. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up. I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll drop the throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. He was looking again for Kelsey there on that play, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
So we are at halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Double tight. 4 down.
Now Foles. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Chris Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Foles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, he obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him.
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Forced out to his... And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point safely through, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
We got this.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run on 2nd down with Blue.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Charvarius Ward there to make the stop.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, guy carrying the ball.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And now running right through it. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Keelan Cole, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. On first down, it's Blue. Dorian O'Daniel, 3rd-round pick in 2018, made the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Out to Cole on the right side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Looking to throw, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. 1st down, a run with Hyde. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but
and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On second down, here's Fournette. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off at his own 47, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Fournette running out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. They're going to look to throw. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little and try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13.